Hey everybody, let's talk about E3 for a quick little minute. I'm not going to be showing any clips or anything this time. I just want to talk about something that's kind of on my mind and something I was talking about with a friend of mine who's also a Let's Player. And this will be before I gotta, get ready for work and everything. So, for the past couple of years now, everybody's been kind of talking about how E3 seems to be relatively pointless when it would be better served for a lot of these big developers and publishers and such, instead of putting on these big ridiculous press events that probably costs a lot of money and a lot of the time gives out information that we already know, given from a lot of online leaks and stuff like that, that a lot of E3 press showings and stuff like that are relatively pointless. There was a time that a lot of this used to be fun, and it was always a big surprise about, hey, we're showing off this, or hey, or we're doing a secret showing for this, and and it was a lot of fun. Now it's, yeah, we're doing this sequel. It's like, yeah, we kind of figured that there was going to be, and hey, and we're doing this. Like, well, we knew that was coming and stuff like that. It's rare that there's a surprise anymore. Like, for example, EA's showing was a lot of sequels, and that was about it. And occasionally showing some new stuff and then stroking their own egos about, hey, you guys like this, so let's talk about this for a little bit. And just relatively pointless. Bringing up Star Wars Battlefront, which I had played, but I'm not a big multiplayer person, so it really didn't go anywhere. And the fact that they're already doing another one when the first game is, as Pro Jared pointed out, barely a year old, and they're already going to do a second one for next year, just goes to show that they're going to run the IP just directly into the ground. And then, of course, there's a sequel for Titanfall. Sorry, I was trying to remember the name. And, and kind of the same thing for, like, a few other companies. And somebody else had mentioned this before, but, and I'm sure everybody else probably has, it would be better served if these companies, and maybe get them, I don't know, maybe some more attention, if instead of, because there's also the fact, too, that, like, when they talk about, some of their new titles or new sequels or anything like that, they don't really show anything. They just talk about it. And usually for a press event, you want to show and not just talk about it. It's kind of funny I say that because all I'm doing is just talking. So, but obviously it would be better served if instead of just talking about it, maybe, and instead of putting on these big, ridiculous shows where you just stroke your ego and such things like that, instead, if you waited and you take your game trailers and actually show gameplay, and then, you can have somebody talking over it and stuff like that, and just post it on YouTube, or just post it all over social media, and then you'll get a lot more feedback and probably a lot more people enjoying it, and then people don't have to pay out the ass to go and see your shit at your big press event, and then you can pimp it like all over, and and then some people can get excited, some people can maybe judge it for what it is, like, and you can say, hey, this is actual game footage, and we're actually showing this, we want you to get hyped and stuff like that, and then you'll get more attention that way, as opposed to just blah 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 blah, new and innovative, blah 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 blah, the same old shit that they've been doing for the last couple of years. Now, this is only coming from, so far from what I've, seen being talked about, is EA, Bethesda, and right now it's Microsoft. And Microsoft, I'm still kind of boycotting the Xbox One just because of all the shit they were doing, and might not ever really bite down and get one, because when I when I put my foot down about something, I tend to mean it. So, and I mean, with with a lot of the shit they've been doing lately, like with the Windows 10 thing, which I heard was a bit of a disaster. Still kind of is. Of course, I'm not a big PC player. I'm more of a console player anyway. And, you know, E3 at this point just really seems pointless. But thankfully, you know, for a lot of people who don't have the money, you know, you can still kind of see this stuff online. And, you know, because there are still at least big gaming websites who will show a lot of the coverage and stuff like that. So for everybody else who wants to cover this stuff, you can just watch it. But it's a lot of material to try and digest and then talk about. So E3, relatively pointless. Be a lot better if they just waited and then put together some gameplay trailers and then just post them online for everybody else to watch. Like, hey, like, here's the new trailer for an Elder Scrolls title, or hey, here's the trailer for Titanfall 2, and here's all the new gameplay stuff that we're showing off for it, which I enjoyed Titanfall to a point, so maybe I'll check out Titanfall 2. Apparently there's a single-player mode to it now, but I imagine I mean, it's EA, so it's only going to be maybe like 4 hours long. Maybe, but they could try something. Maybe. I'd be willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I wouldn't be too surprised. Well, anyway, those are just my thoughts on E3. And I mean, I'll still keep watching like some of the rest of the coverage, the various other websites and various other YouTubers are doing. So we'll see. Take care of yourselves.